Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Recovery Channel. We're thrilled to be on this journey with you. This journey to find freedom from your addictions and compulsive behaviors. If you've been diligent about watching our videos and doing our homework and using the tools, you are well on your way to serenity and joy that recovery brings. And if you've been honest, open, and willing, you know how the program works. A couple weeks back, I introduced the concept of Step 3, which basically involves surrender and trust. Surrender and trust. Then last week, Phil went off on some cocoa powder-induced trip into La La Land. I'm sure glad he was at least paying attention to the fire department and their order. This week, we get back to the business of Step 3. This step tells us to make a decision. Soon, that decision is going to require action. Before we can do either of those things, make a decision or take action on it, we must be willing. Willing to change. Willing to try a different path. Willing to give up on our old ideas of what life is about and turn that over to a power that is much, much bigger than us. The definition of willingness is simply consent or readiness to do something. Now write that down. Willingness is the readiness to do something. So let me ask you, are you ready? Are you ready to live without your drug of choice? Are you ready to do whatever it takes? Are you willing to try a different path? For many of us, when the pain of remaining the same is greater than the fear of change, we start to change. F. Scott Fitzgerald wrote, "For what it's worth, it's never too late to be whoever you want to be. There is no time limit. Stop whenever you want. You can change or stay the same. There are no rules to this thing. We can make the best or the worst of it. I hope you make the best of it. And I hope you see things that startle you. I hope you feel things you've never felt before. I hope you meet people with a different point of view. I hope you live a life you're proud of. If you find that you're not, I hope you have the courage to start all over again." I love that idea. It's never too late to be whoever I want to be. And whether or not I change, it's up to me. You must have some willingness to change because you've been with us for almost 3 months now. Today you are here. Today you are present. And today you're alive. Because recovery is possible today. I figured out that the way I was running my life wasn't working too well. It was causing too much pain and grief, and I was killing myself. But it takes more than cool quotes to change things. My desire to change has to be greater than my desire not to change. What it's going to take is fundamentally changing the way we think. And the foundation of that is looking to a power greater than ourselves for guidance, support, and comfort. Now, many of us are too scared, skeptical, or uncomfortable to do that. And that's okay. As I said before, right now we're just getting to the point that we're willing to try. We're making the decision that we're going to try. What are we going to do? What are we going to try? To turn our lives and our wills over to our higher power. Turn it over, turn it over, turn it over. So what does turning it over mean exactly? Right now, it simply means you are willing to do the next right thing. How do you know what the next right thing is? Ask your higher power. Deep down, you know what's right. Your higher power will help you find the truth by getting you past all the junk and clutters of your mind. You admitted in the first step that you were powerless and your life has become a mess. In step 2, you came to believe, say believe, that there's a power out there that can help. Step 3 puts us in touch with that higher power. We just need to be willing to take the action needed. Remember, This is a spiritual program of action. Having willingness and making the decision are the first task. Turning it over and asking our higher power for help is the action that follows from that decision. So, Phil, you're telling me to turn everything over to my higher power? Does that mean I can just sit on the couch and wait for something to happen? No, Phil. Your higher power is not going to cook your breakfast or pay your rent or go to work for you. Your higher power is not going to drive the car. But your higher power will be your navigation system, directions to live by. Which way to turn when the critical decision point comes up? Will you use or will you pick up the phone and call your sponsor? Will you eat another piece of chocolate cake or will you go for a walk? Will you scream at your kid or will you take a deep breath and extend them grace? You've got the wheel, but your higher power is showing you the way. And just like the navigation system, it might be telling you to go right, but you might think you need a better way, a shortcut. It'll calmly keep telling you, make a U-turn if possible, make a U-turn if possible. But it's your choice whether or not to listen. You've got to be willing to trust and be guided by your spiritual navigation system. This whole concept can cause a lot of fear. It feels like giving up control, which is counter to the way we think we keep ourselves safe. A young boy was told that every day it was his job to go out and get the evening paper for his dad. One afternoon, he forgot to get the paper. The sun went down, and about dinner time, his father didn't see the paper. The boy's mom told him to go outside and get it. He started crying, and his mom was shocked. She said, "What's wrong?" The kid was just sobbing, and he said, "I've been afraid to tell you, but I'm afraid of the dark." His mother put her arms around him, and she explained to him that there's really nothing to be afraid of. Remember, God is everywhere. He's out there just as he's in here. The kid lit up like a Christmas tree. He said, "Thanks, Mom. That's so wonderful." He stopped sobbing, went straight to the front door, opened it up, stuck his arm out and said, "Hey, God, will you hand me the newspaper?" Even though it's dark and we might be full of fear, we can't expect God to get the newspaper. We need to face our fears and be willing to trust in the process. Trust in the process and do the legwork to get the paper. He's not going to do it for us. What our higher power will do is give us the courage and strength to do what needs to be done. In the Serenity Prayer, we pray for the courage to change the things we can change. What we can change boils down to the way we see things and approach life. When we surrender to our higher power, the way we see and approach things changes drastically. If we surrender, we win. We win another day of freedom. This is the heart and soul of the program. Willingness to surrender. Just be willing. Willing to do whatever it takes. Now write that down. I'm willing to do whatever it takes. Right now, all you have to do is make a simple decision and have the willingness to let it happen. You carry out that decision from this moment on for the next 9 steps and for the rest of your life. Willingness to trust in the process to find the peace and serenity we so desire. Thank you for being willing to travel this road with us. Please subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so already. Your homework this week is to add these words to your daily prayer and meditation. Higher power, I trust that you want what is best for me. I am willing to ask for your help when making decisions in my life, and I will do my best to follow your direction. Thank you for always being there for me. So please join us next week as we wrap up step 3 and get ready to do our inventory. Until then, remember, As long as you are willing, recovery is possible. Today.